I was going to say 15th.
Hey, everybody, here we are. Welcome to the studios of GFBS, Grand Forks Best Source. You know, we do this like every month, and it's probably one of my favorite business podcasts we do. And of course, I'm talking about Home of Economy. And of course, I'm talking about my favorite store in Grand Forks. And joining us, we've got a couple of Pearsons in the studio, and I'm sure Loyola's not going to say much. She never does. But welcome, Scott Pearson from Home of Economy. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you, John?
Good. First thing I asked you this morning was, did you take your motorcycle here? I saw it at the store the other day, but it's nice to finally see we could actually get out on a bike.
Yeah. It's of course I've been out for a while. Everybody.
Yeah, you're
says,
one of those crazy guys.
Well, everybody says, isn't it awfully cold? And it's like, no, it's way warmer than January.
Oh yeah. You know, it's funny because I'm one of those guys. If I'm going on a road trip on my bike, I wear pants and boots and all that stuff. But if I'm just going to run to town or something quick, going to the store, you know, I wear shorts. I will put tennis shoes on. I got to not wear the Crocs, but I get these looks from bikers that look at me when I come walking in, and I've got shorts on and a T-shirt, and they just shake their head at me like, you knucklehead. But, you know, that's the thing about riding a motorcycle. They talk about the freedom and the wind in your hair and all of that stuff, but I kind of like to feel it on my legs, too. You know, I'm one of those guys.
You know, you're one of those guys.
First thing I want to talk about, Scott, is April 9th. I mean, we're going back in time here, but your Racer Showcase, again, what a great day. Man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it always is, and we had great turnout. You know, racers and guests. You know, it was really fun. I really look forward to that. And I'm glad we can do it again.
You know, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. I know with parts and things like that, there was a couple of guys that backed out, but a couple of guys filled in. But never fails. It gets more and more people all the time. But I think my favorite part of it, besides the food served by the Grand Forks Central Wrestling Team, I love watching the kids, how they interact with these race car drivers and how they get to sit in their cars and take pictures and the hero cards that they autograph for them. And these race car drivers, they're a different kind of people, and they love kids, and the kids love them. It's like a magnet.
Yeah, it's really, you know, what really surprised me the first time we did it was, you know, that they were so willing to let kids sit in the car, and the kids don't do any harm. I'm sure that you know, there's no real fear on their side. I was still surprised, and my grandson got to sit in a race car. You know, what a great treat for a kid.
Oh, yeah, they just love it. And, you know, these race car drivers and car owners, they think to themselves, you know what? These are the guys that come in, they're folks, buy the tickets, come and watch us race. Of course, we're going to let them pretty much have a run at whatever they want to do with their cars, and they're kind of foolproof. I mean, you know, it's not like getting into one of our new cars that we drive around to work every day. There's not that many buttons to push and things like that. Race cars, the inside of them are pretty simple, but it's still really cool just to see the look on the kids' faces.
Yeah.
You guys have got, well, first off, let's talk about Mother's Day. We are only days away. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but you got going on now through May 8th, the big Traeger Mother's Day sale. Let's talk about that, because Traeger's, well, that's what we talk about a lot, and how can you not? In fact, I bet you I had 3 conversations about Traeger grills in the last week with people.
Yeah, well, you know, it's I love my Traeger, and I love the food, you know, that comes off it, and I love being able to be creative with something that doesn't demand that I stay up all night watching the corn grow.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, are you the one that always posts on Facebook the gorgeous meals that you make, usually by the window there?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
I know, and every time I look at it, I'm like, honey, you should do this. And she goes, honey, you should get a Traeger. And so she always tops me.
Well, I thought you had one.
I don't, not yet. The whole story.
Okay, now's the time. Okay, if there's a sale, it's you know, $100 to $150 off on the most popular models. I'm going to recommend you buy the Ironwood.
Yeah, and you know, I remember doing a Traeger remote back in my radio days at Home of Economy, and you guys were trying to get me one, and you offered me a really sweet deal. And at the time, my mother-in-law was living with us, and she had just purchased a pretty nice grill. And I thought, what kind of a son-in-law would I be if I came in and said, well, we're not going to use your grill anymore, Jeanette. We're going to use this one. I felt like that would be kind of hitting her below the belt a little bit, so I never did.
Okay. Well,
You
is
know?
she still there?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, so what kind of grill did she have?
She's got a big Weber. Yeah.
So gas grill.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So you should have talked to me.
Okay. I have talked to you a million
I
times
know,
about
but
this.
I would have told you
I
that
know.
the Weber gas grill is a perfect sear station, and there are things that you want to do quick and fast.
Sure.
I have a gas grill. I store my cleaning supplies in it. I haven't used it for a long, long time, but it has a side burner.
Sure.
And I use that to heat up cast iron for the sear on the Traeger, the reverse seared steaks. But they complement each other.
Sure.
They don't. One doesn't replace the other entirely, although in my case it mostly has. But I still use the gas grill now and then.
How much has, I mean, I've known about Traeger now for probably 10 years, whatever it has been, since I was going to Home of Economy for these remotes. But it seems to me every year I meet another big handful of people that made the jump to a Traeger. Is it really, does it keep growing in popularity that much every year? Because I know Home of Economy, you guys sell a lot of Traeger grills, but are more and more people catching or jumping onto the Traeger bandwagon now because they're awesome?
Yeah, we're not getting people that have never seen one anymore, but now we're getting people who, my neighbor has one. My son-in-law has one, and we were over there for Easter, and he made prime rib, and it was the best thing I've ever eaten, and I want to do that myself. And it's a fairly large purchase.
It is.
And I wouldn't walk in and say, well, what is this thing? It looks intriguing. Perhaps I'll spend $1,000 or $2,000
Yep.
or $3,000 or whatever, and of course that's why we do demonstration events, is because we want to show people. But the other side of it, besides getting food that is something that a new food experience, is the ease of cooking.
Yeah.
And the simplicity. And of course you can't demonstrate very well that you can just put a brisket on the grill and go to bed and get up in the morning and check the pellets. That part. So that, yeah, people as they talk to their friends and neighbors and family and find out how much they like it and learn a little bit about it. Yeah, the sales are growing, and it's fun because it gives us. There's a whole world of learning what you can do and
every day
and getting good food, and I'm a foodie, so
yeah.
I love talking about food, and I love what I can do with the Traeger.
And how you say you can go to bed or do whatever. Now, say you're at the lake and you want to do a brisket or something. Now, me, for example, we did sausage a couple weeks ago in my garage. We had 3 smokers going. And of course, they're the smaller, not so great smokers. They do the job, but you have to babysit them. You have to be watching them. You got to be checking them all the time. Now, if I'm at the lake and say I'm going to throw a brisket in, and it's like, okay, do I sit here and stare at the smoker all day? Or I would really love to go out and play on the lake, maybe do some fishing or something like that. These new Traegers, you can do whatever you want because they're all Wi-Fi, and you can control them right from your phone, basically.
Well,
I mean, that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, some of the models are Wi-Fi enabled. Some of them are not. I go fishing anyway. I'll put a roast in the grill and go fishing. I'll come back 4 or 6 hours later. The grill holds 18 hours worth of pellets.
Yeah.
So, depending on temperature, not necessarily that long, but for most of the low and slow cooking, you're burning about a pound an hour. They hold 18 pounds. The math works out. It's around 18 hours.
And then they're so steady. Their temperature, they hold a good temp. And that's the whole thing why I end up babysitting my smoker all the time.
Yeah, they maintain within a range, which is just like a kitchen oven does.
Sure.
So,
which is way better than my smoker does.
well, right. Yeah, no, you don't have to manually control the temperature. It's got a thermostat, just like an oven. And so, yeah, that's kind of the great magic of it is, you prepare the food, you put it on the grill, and you go do something else. And if you're in the area, you maybe, check your pellets and top them off or something, but don't open the lid. You don't want to look at that food and let the smoke out. You can.
It's a cliche, an old cliche, set it and forget it, but it's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, you can't forget it forever.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Some people take that to an extreme.
Well, that
It bites them. But.
If it's somebody that wants to ruin a really good chunk of meat. Every time I'm in Home of Economy, I do see people walking out of there with the Traeger pellets. We were just in there again a couple of weeks ago and got all our supplies for smoking sausage. But you guys, during this Traeger Mother's Day sale, $2 off Traeger pellets, rubs, and sauces. The wireless meat thermometer, $20 off. Everybody should have one. If you're grilling and smoking, don't you think everybody should have one of these wireless thermometers?
Yeah, it's kind of a game changer, and you don't want to open the lid, although it isn't the disaster that people sort of impute to it. But the convenience and the comfort of, say, you wake up in the middle of the night and I'm not worried about my grill, but yet in the middle of the night and I've got a grill running, I want to know.
Sure.
Well, it's
you don't have to get out of bed.
Leave the bedroom.
You don't have to go check it out.
Yeah.
Another thing that Home of Economy started doing, and I see it's coming up again May 22nd, the Fair Food Extravaganza. Now, I remember when Home of Economy started this, it was right when the pandemic was really on, and people were sick and tired of not being able to gather and do what they wanted. So you guys decided to do this Fair Food Extravaganza. It was a mob scene. I mean, the place was filled, and another one of the events that just keeps getting bigger and better all the time.
Yeah, we've learned from that first event. Of course, we had 15,000 people come to our parking lot, and we didn't arrange it for 15,000 people, but that would be too many anyway.
Yeah, right, right.
There's only a limited amount of space there, but what we've done, we've moved it from being right in front of the store over to the south parking lot where there's a lot more room. We've set the arrangement so there's no mixing of the line for the donuts and the cheese.
Right.
There's nobody selling cheese, by the way, but but the people they got in a line they thought was for the donuts, and they wound up at someplace else. It was very frustrating for a lot of people, and we were supposed to be social distancing, and it was impossible.
You can only do so much.
I think we're less worried now about keeping our distance from people, but the way we have it arranged, it is also, people aren't packed together like they were. So yeah, it's been great, and it runs a lot more smoothly now, and we've got 13 vendors coming. So,
oh wow,
a lot more selection. It's gonna be another really fun event.
We were at Home of Economy yesterday, and of course, the first thing my wife says is, "They're setting up the greenhouse." Oh boy! Any idea when that's gonna get rolling?
Should be soon.
Okay.
We no longer run the greenhouse ourselves. So I don't have to know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's true. You got right now the spring catalog is out. 40 pages of great savings. Again, you're gonna some of the savings. Lumberjack grilling pellets. I've never tried those, but they work pretty good.
They're very good pellets. A lot of people that's their favorite. I use Lumberjack a lot. I tend to mostly use Traeger, but the Lumberjack save you a little bit of money. And that some of the Lumberjack pellets are called 100% varieties, and those have a little stronger smoke flavor. They use the whole log bark cambium.
Oh, sure.
And the heartwood and sapwood that is typically used in pellets. It's a little more ash, but the flavor is a little stronger. And 100% the listed species are not a blend, so the flavors are a little more distinctive. And I think it's worth trying some of those Lumberjack pellets. They work perfectly well in the Traeger, and it gives you some more options.
Okay. On this spring catalog now, we could go through just a few of the things here, but a couple of things that gets me is 25% off the men's and women's classic work shirts. Same with the men's and women's Force t-shirts. $25 off Durango Rappel Patrick Western boots, which I'm sure you must sell a lot of those. Another good one, fuel transfer pumps, fuel pumps, sports batteries. We had to talk about that before you came in, before we were on the air, Scott, saying I was talking about my motorcycle battery being dead. And he said, well, we have them. But this is the time of the year now. People are getting the mowers going. They're getting their motorcycles going, the boats, all that kind of stuff. And I think maybe a lot of people don't realize that, yeah, you guys do carry batteries for all of these.
Well, yeah, we try to provide, for everybody's needs. I find myself, I need to go to Hugo's. I almost never go to any other store. Just there's no need. I have everything I need, within a few steps of my office.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually thought last year I got a different mower and it was hard starting, and I thought, well, and my battery's going. It's just not spinning it over fast enough. I found out that wasn't it. I need to bring it into Scott, who, by the way, is back at Home of Economy. So I went and bought a new battery from you guys, and it's still sitting on a shelf in my garage, but I got a feeling I'll be using that one this year. I see Carhartt. They're always coming out with new stuff, new styles. Any new Carhartt stuff? I see you got something there. The new styles for the Carhartt graphic shirts are out. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay.
But, all the companies, of course, they have new products every year, and we try to stay up with that. So they're there.
Okay. The new handbill out for Mom, going on through May 11th. This is where, you might want to call it for Mom, but these are the things that I go look for because I'm the one that does all the grilling and the smoking and stuff. But 15% off all barbecue sauces, rubs, and spices. Now, this is one thing I have always said, Scott, is that you guys have got everything as far as the rubs, the spices, and all of that kind of stuff. No need to go anywhere else.
Well, that's kind of the point. It's grilling headquarters, and I do a lot of grilling. I've never bought grilling supplies anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has to. We have the full line of Traeger accessories. We've got, we're constantly bringing in new rubs, new sauces. Biggest selection I've ever seen. It's fun. It's fun to try new things. It's fun to have
absolutely.
variety, and that's what it's all about.
And I tend to be one of those guys, if I find something that I think works, I'll stick with it. I'm not as maybe adventurous as you are when it comes to cooking. I should be. And if I get a Traeger, maybe I will be. But yeah, everything is there. Now, I wanted to see this. You've also got these 7-speed digital blender, $5 off. Everybody needs a blender too, and especially this time of the year. It's time for summer beverages.
It's for margaritas.
Yeah, exactly. You can use them for everything. Also, what are these flavored fruit slices? Are those like a dehydrated thing? $2 off 30-ounce flavored fruit slices. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, right.
I didn't even see that one.
Okay, well, that's candy. It's like the orange slices.
Sure,
they're kind of jelly candies, and orange cherry and mixed fruit.
Okay, another question for you here. What the heck is Bry Belly Classic Bingo Set?
Well, okay. I didn't prepare this, so it's a surprise.
I didn't even
too.
see this.
Yeah, well, so bingo, like, B57, whatever. Yeah, it's a set, so you can play bingo at home.
Oh, okay.
And it's $17.99, so not too extravagant.
I for the first time today did wear shorts. I almost broke out the Crocs or my sandals, but it is that time of the year. 20% off now for the sale going on through the 11th. 20% off women's and kids' sandals. A lot of people might not think of go to Home of Economy, buy some sandals. Like me, I would think, okay, I'm going to go buy my work boots. I'm going to go buy whatever. But you guys carry all kinds of footwear, including these sandals.
Yeah, there's, there were some that were on sale in the previous catalog, and with supply chain disruption, as we all use the words now, they didn't show up in time. So those are in. Real good deal on sandals, and there's choices.
Now let's get down to business. Let's talk some fishing here. Lakes in Minnesota might be a little while. Some lakes are still got a lot of ice out there. I plan on getting out as soon as I can, but $1 off Rapala Lures right now. Huge name, one of the biggest names in fishing. And when you can save $1 on a lure, because lures are not getting any cheaper, that's a pretty good deal there too.
Well, it is, and gives you a chance to stock up a little bit in the spring.
I was in there, we were in there yesterday, and Alan says, hey, I got to show you something. So we walked over to the fishing department, and he said, bait is going to be tough to get this year again. And I said, yeah, I've been kind of hearing that. Check this out. And it's a new cut bait that you guys have. At first, I thought it was like a gold eye or something. And he said, no, it was, I think, from those invasive carps that they're having trouble with everywhere else. But they have sliced these things up into nice cut bait, and they come in a Ziploc. I think that could be a game changer. I can't wait to try it. But I think that is something that's going to get for sure the catfishermen to even come in more.
You're catfishing.
Yes. And I think that could be a game changer with sucker minnows being so hard to find. So then I asked him, I said, okay, I know the Red, they're particular about what bait you can use and this and that. And then he goes, nope, perfectly legal for the Red. So I think that's going to be huge. Hopefully we'll catch some fish with it, but I can't wait to try it.
It'll be a lot huger if people catch fish.
Yeah, that always helps, doesn't it? Also going on from May 11th through June 1st, the Memorial Day Savings Handbill will be coming out. And now we're getting towards the time where people are thinking about planting their gardens and all that stuff, but you've got 15% off food plot seed. Now, that's not a garden, but we plant food plots where I hunt. It's basically the legal way to bait in Minnesota, because baiting is illegal in Minnesota, but food plots are not. And I tell you what, if you got an extra chunk of land, and even if you like watching deer and wildlife and stuff, till it up, plant yourself a food plot. But do you sell a lot of that stuff?
Well, we do. It's we also sell the seed spreaders to use for planting them. If you have a large food plot, but it's nice. It's nice to provide a natural type forage for the animals. And even if you're not hunting, like you said, if you just like watching them, or if you just
you're a photographer,
if you just want to provide for them, put it in the woods and don't go out there, whatever.
I got a group of about 16 of them running around in my house right now because the water's so high, they don't have much highland to get to. So you watch them all head in towards East Grand Forks every evening. They go behind, I suppose, the potato plants and the bean plant back there. And then every single morning, they come back through my yard, and they'll come right by my living room window. My dogs sit and just bark at them out the window. But then they just mosey on right by again. But every day, and a lot of people think deer are a pain in the butt. They can be, especially if you have gardens and flowers and trees and stuff. But I like watching them. I like shooting them and eating them, but I like watching them too,
Yeah.
5% off Life is Good men's and women's short sleeve shirts. I can't wait to quit wearing sweatshirts. I can't wait to get back into a t-shirt again. 20% off men's belts and wallets. Got to have them. I lost about 25 pounds here in the last 5 months. I'm noticing now that I have to buy new belts. It's a good thing. Yeah, it is a good thing. I'm wearing stuff that if I didn't have a belt on, when I jumped in my suit last week or 2 weeks ago for that Red at the Ralph, whatever it was. If I wouldn't have had a belt on, my pants would have fallen off. I haven't worn them since my son's wedding 3 years ago, and they were tight. But you got to have a belt. You got to have a wallet if you're a dude.
Well, right, and they do. Belts don't wear out so much for me, but if you lose weight, that's a good thing. Or if you've gained weight over the winter time and. A new belt if you've run out of holes either way. Wallets wear out.
Yeah.
And new wallet looks nice. And, it packs your stuff in. The cards don't fall out when you pull it out of your pocket.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a time to upgrade. And they're not crazy expensive.
What is the Lamo brand? Men's and women's shoes, $10 off. Oh, I see them. Oh, yeah, they're just like the slip-on shoe. Perfect summer stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moccasin there.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed when I was in the store yesterday, and we have bird feeders all over. Now they're telling us in Minnesota we shouldn't be feeding the birds because of the Asian flu and everything. But I've got 2 finch feeders, and you put Niger seed in finch feeders. And I noticed that at Home of Economy, you guys could just scoop it up yourself and buy it in bulk. And you got a heck of a deal off, 20 cents off Niger birdseed by the pound. I mean, I go through probably 10 pounds a year, a summer maybe, with my 2 feeders. But that's nice when you can do that too.
Yeah.
You don't have to go buy it in their bags. You can just put it in your container because where I live, It's got to go in a steel container anyway with a lid on it because the mice and the squirrels or whatever will get into it. But when you buy it bulk, you can just put it in the container. You're going to have to do that anyway. New items that are at Home of Economy now. Oh, by the way, not only that new bait I saw, but you guys were very, very helpful to me yesterday. My new pup needs a better shock collar than I had. Thought I'd save myself some money, and I ordered one online. And I thought it was, well, gosh, I don't ever remember paying that little amount for a shock collar. Well, I found out why. It doesn't work with a crap. So I went and bought a good one, and I was very pleased with the help I got. They, asked me a lot of questions about my dog. These guys knew what they were talking about. And I ended up walking out of there with, I thought, a pretty darn good deal on a really nice shock collar. So I just wanted to give your guys kudos for that. If I would have went up there and just and walked around and looked at what I could have got, I guarantee you I probably would not have bought the one I did because I'm kind of a tight butt. I spent a little more money, but again, you pay for what you get. I was very happy about that. Some new items, these decked toolboxes. Did we talk about those once before?
I don't think so, but I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
There's two parts to that product line. The decked, the basic thing is it goes in the bed of your truck, and it gives you a drawer that you can pull out, 5-foot long drawer. It'll support 200 pounds, so you put your tow chains, and tools, and everything in there. And I've got one in my truck. I bought one, and it really cleans up the back of the truck. It also then provides a full width flat surface because it comes up above the wheel well. And so now you can lay 6-foot material on top of the decked box, and so that's
huge,
kind of a game changer.
Sure, it is.
And they're lockable, but you don't have stuff sliding around the back of my truck anymore.
Yep.
And when I want the tow chain, it's where I can reach it. And generally speaking, when I want the tow chain, it's not a good day.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't want to climb up into that truck that's probably sitting up on a high spot and I'm standing in a mud hole.
Yep.
But and then the other part of it is crossover box. The typical toolbox that we've all had on our trucks.
Yep.
But this box has a built-in ladder.
Oh.
And it folds up inside the lid of the box or just under the lid. But it's an aluminum extensible ladder. And, my truck is up to my neck on the side of the bed. And it's not a jacked up truck. It's just a Super Duty Ford. So, I can't reach anything in the bed unless it's right up next to the edge. But but I can climb up this ladder and reach into my crossover box. Something down on the bottom of the box I can still reach. I don't have to climb up in the bed of the truck. But if I do want to reach something in the bed of the truck that's up towards the front, of course I have the decked drawer box in there now, so I don't have that problem. But anyway, you gain access to the box. You can climb up this ladder and get in the box from the side of your truck, and it's aluminum and it folds up and goes right back in the box again. That's been actually the most exciting thing.
Yeah, well, it's a game changer. As we get older, I don't like crawling in and out of the back of my truck either. It's funny how we use game changer quite often when we do these Home of Economy podcasts. I want to get back to hunting a little bit. You guys are a dealer for Vortex, which scopes and binoculars, and I actually have a Vortex scope on my deer hunting rifle. I love them. They're great scopes. You guys carry so much for the outdoorsman, whether it be hunting, fishing, trapping, bird watching, animal watching with the binoculars. You basically have anything for the outdoorsman or woman.
That's the goal, Apart from the firearms that we don't do anymore.
One thing I do like about Home of Economy, if I don't see something that I like, all I got to do is talk to one of your team members and find out if you can get it, and if it can be ordered. And I know there has been times where you could get it. Maybe there's times you can't, but it doesn't hurt to ask, does it?
No, and we do have a lot of long-term employees with a lot of expertise and knowledge. And we think that's a benefit to our customer, so we're very happy to have those people.
Right now, and I buy a lot of this stuff there too, but new and improved paint, plumbing, and electrical departments starting now in some of the stores. But I bought my last water heater from Home of Economy. I'm in there buying spray paint. I'm in there buying plumbing stuff all the time. But you guys keep up in the game on that too.
Yeah, we've brought in a new supplier to give us access to a broader and more reliable source of supply.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm very happy with that. Of course, I do plumbing projects and electrical projects, and again, with these last couple of years, with the mess things are in, there's been some empty holes, and I hate that.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate that. The shelves are full.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's and those odd items that we didn't have. We're better stocked. We're better.
Mm-hmm.
The assortment is better, and really happy with that. It's worth stopping in.
Before we let you go, Scott, I want to talk a little bit about the Traeger Timberlines. I know it seems like we always end up going back to talking about Traegers, but I think it's worth it. These new Traeger Timberlines, new style, has 3 shelves for cooking meat. Got that cabinet underneath the grill to store all your utilities. It's got the pellet bin so you keep the moisture and all of that stuff out, which we know is very important. They also added that side burner. So maybe you want to do some frying or your sauces and searing and other things. But these Traeger Timberlines, granted, again, and we'll go back to the fact that you pay for what you get, but great deals on the Traegers.
Yeah, and the Timberline XL is the new model. It's only been a couple of weeks at most that, they've been out in the market for display, but not sale. So they were released just a short time ago. And that's an induction burner on the side.
Okay, yep.
And weatherproof. So, it's the only weatherproof induction burner out there. But super fast, efficient, no supplies required, just, it's a plug-in. The XL is, wow, we just keep saying game changer. But it's a whole new design, from scratch, basically. And, of course, that's the new top of the line. But the Timberline, the 1300, for example, lots and lots of room, stainless steel grates, the D2 system with a lot of heat capacity, fast heating and very stable, very reliable thing. And it's a good looking grill. So's the XL. The XL is an even more attractive thing. If you've got it on your patio, it's it enhances things.
Sure.
It doesn't. Some of the old smokers like mine is of course the Bears tip it over. So it's a little bent sheet metal and this and that. Mine you would not be proud to put out in front of your house.
Still works.
But the Timberline XL and the Timberlines are really good looking grills, and that matters in some places.
Sure it does. I remember last year, my brother-in-law called me up. He says, "What do you know about Traegers?" And after having a conversation with him, lo and behold, he went and bought one. My sister-in-law was not too thrilled about it at first. Now she's ecstatic because he does almost all the cooking now, and he does it year-round. He's got the Traeger sitting right on the deck, right outside the back door, next to the hot tub, and he does almost all the cooking. But it's amazing when you get yourself a new toy like that, how you tend to want to use it all the time. And the Traeger, it gets used. I bet she uses that thing 4 to 5 days a week, every single week, all year long. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to coming up, the Fair Food Extravaganza, May 22nd. Scott Pearson with Home of Economy. Again, thanks for coming in. Again, I wanted to mention that Scott is back in the small engine shop, or whatever you call the shop there. But
the other Scott.
The other Scott. Yeah, the other Scott, not a Pearson. Yeah. He's a little smaller.
My brother says he's the cool Scott, but he wouldn't know.
In fact, I was in there yesterday and talked to him and said, I need to get my mower in. And he said, we'll get it in for you. Just let me know. So Scott Pearson, Loyola, thanks you guys again for coming in. I usually don't wish a guy happy Mother's Day, but have a good Mother's Day weekend. How does that sound?
Yeah, thanks, you too.
Are you going to the lake?
I am.
Good.
When I leave here.
Oh, I didn't need to hear that.
Well, I haven't been for a month, and
Well,
I got to make sure it's still there.
see if the Traeger is still standing upright.
Yeah, I know that Lake of the Woods is still covered with ice.
Yeah.
So there won't be. It'll be just chores this weekend. But
Well, have yourself a safe trip and enjoy.
thank you.
All right, there you go for the month. Your Home of Economy podcast. Again, my favorite store, Home of Economy. Check out one near you.